According to industry standard best practices, acceptable puncture repair for passenger and light truck tire sizes through load range E is limited to the tread section of the tire, commonly referred to as the crown. Injuries up to 1/4 of an inch in diameter may be repaired using this system. If the injury is larger than 1/4 of an inch, or the location of the injury is in the shoulder or the sidewall, it is recommended to replace the tire. Prior to demounting the tire from the wheel, air up the tire and inspect all parts, including the bead area and the valve assembly, for potential leaks. Utilize a combination of leak seeker and a test tank to aid in the process. For the most efficient and effective aid in inspecting and repairing a tire, use a sturdy tire spreader to help lift the tire to a convenient work level. Utilize a good work light when inspecting the inner liner of a tire for potential run-flat damage or additional injuries. After removing the foreign object from the tire, use an awl or a probe and an angle chart to determine the angle of the injury. This is important when deciding if a combination repair is acceptable, or if you must use a two-piece repair. If the angle of injury is less than 25 degrees, it is acceptable to use a combination style repair unit. If the angle of injury is greater than 25 degrees, you must use a two-piece repair system. Now that we're ready to start the repair, make sure you have adequate lighting inside of the tire. An important initial step in preparing the inner liner is cleaning the repair area. Apply rubber prep to the inner liner surface around the area of the injury. Firmly scrape away any contaminants such as dirt, debris, and tire mold lubricants. Repeat as necessary. Select the appropriate repair unit and use it to mark 1/2 inch around the outside of the repair unit. This will act as a guideline when buffing to ensure that the appropriate amount of space is buffed on the inner liner. Select the appropriately sized carbide cutting bit or another suitable reaming tool to clean out the injury channel. If using a carbide cutter and a low-speed buffer, start from the inside of the tire and make 3 passes through the injury. Finish with 3 additional passes from the outside of the tire. When cutting or reaming the injury, it's important to cut in the original direction of the injury. This avoids creating an additional angle or a larger injury. Buffing the inner liner to a consistent surface is a critical part of repair adhesion. Use a buffing wheel and a low-speed buffer to even out the inner liner surface. Be sure to buff away only enough inner liner surface to achieve a consistent velvety texture. Avoid using too much pressure or buffing at high speeds, which could result in buffing through the inner liner and making the tire unrepairable. Use a clean brass brush and scrape down over the buffed area to remove any additional particles or debris from the buffed area. Use a vacuum to remove any additional debris that is inside of the tire. Never touch the buffed area with your hand, a rag, pre-buff solution, or use compressed air to blow rubber dust away from the area. Compressed air contains moisture and other contaminants that would prevent the patch from adhering properly. Use a spiral cement probe to lightly apply cement through the injury channel of the tire. Apply a thin, even amount of cement to the buffed area of the inner liner of the tire, making sure to work the cement into all the pores. It's important to allow the cement to dry completely before applying the repair unit. Climate conditions can change the amount of time it takes for the cement to dry. Never use compressed air or an outside heat source to speed up the drying process. Release the arms of the tire spreader to allow the tire to receive the repair unit in a relaxed position. Carefully remove the poly backing of your repair unit. Avoid touching the cushion gum of the patch. The oil on your hands or any other dirt or contaminants can prevent the patch from adhering properly. Apply a small amount of rubber cement to the tapered edge of the repair unit insert. Carefully guide the repair unit through the injury in the tire from the inside, utilizing the lead wire. Then, from the outside of the tire, pull the repair unit through the injury using the lead wire until you can grab a hold of the rubber stem. Watch the repair unit from the inside of the tire while you pull the rubber stem through the injury. Make sure that the repair unit is fully seated against the inner liner of the tire. Use a stitching tool on the surface of the repair unit. Apply pressure starting from the center and moving towards the outside of the repair unit. This ensures that there are no air pockets and that the repair unit will adhere properly. Remove the plastic backing from the patch to prepare for the inner liner sealer. Apply inner liner sealer to the edge of the patch as well as any exposed, buffed area of the inner liner. This puts integrity back into the inner liner as the airtight component of the tire. Finish the repair by trimming off any excess from the stem. Make sure not to stretch the stem while trimming. The tire is now ready to be reinstalled on the wheel. For more information on Group 31 and xtraseal products, visit www.31inc.com.